you will recall the olden days of Jailbreak, when the game was much simpler, yet more successful. How did a game that had an average of 100,000 players get down to 40,000 or 50,000 players on average? Because it gets repetitive and people get tired of it. While there have been a lot of better updates lately, Jailbreak still cannot match its performance in the beginning. After all, it is the same game 3 years later. We must also think about the games dominating the Roblox homepage, like Adopt Me. After all, there is a lot of competition out there than there was 3 years ago. In this video, I will be taking an in-depth look at the history of Jailbreak, including the YouTubers, developers, and much more. This video took hours to make, so if you would like to see some more epic content like this, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Now then, go ahead and sit back, relax, and let's get into this. The beta version of Jailbreak was released on April 21st, 2017. But that's not where this story began. It actually all began during the year 2016 when Asimo and Badimo teamed up to make a game called Volt. As the name suggests, it was a game with Volt bikes and its theme was basically racing, based off of the movie Tron, if you guys know about it. Asimo did all the modeling and graphics of the game, while Badimo did all the coding for it. They were a good team. Volt got more than 8 million visits, which isn't bad, and I think that their first game together under the Badimo label did fairly well. So around the same time, Asimo and Badimo released their game called Volt. A really popular game was Prison Life. As of now, Prison Life is super bugged with no updates coming in, and basically it is pretty trash right now. However, back then, it was super popular, and the goal of Prison Life was really simple. You escape prison, and you do nothing except try not to be caught. There's literally nothing to do outside the prison, so the game itself was really simple. Despite its simplicity though, it gave the chance to many influencers to become famous, like 𝐂𝐑𝐄𝐃𝐈𝐓𝐒. After a while though, the game started to get updated less and less, with the developer being really busy as he was busy in college. Because of this, the bugs took months to patch, and there were just so many exploits that the game got ruined. Around this time though, since Prison Life was kind of failing, Asimo and Badimo decided to come together once more and make a prison escape game. Little did they know that this was one of the best decisions they would make in their entire lives. According to Asimo, Jailbreak was programmed and built in around 6 to 7 months. It was then released on April 27, 2017, publicly with over 16,000 lines of code in it. Due to the popularity of prison games at the time, Jailbreak was an instant success. The fact that they built it off of Prison Life and added in lots of cool new features made everyone instantly like it. Things like proper vehicle driving mechanics and robbing stores were all new things that helped the game become a success. Jailbreak got to the Roblox front page immediately, and it stayed there for a very long time. Jailbreak was the #1 game on Roblox for a while, as no one could come close to beating it, because it was so well made and fun to play. Asimo and Badimo pushed out weekly updates back then, and these updates added a lot to the game and they kept the game popular and fun to play. Nowadays we get monthly updates, but those weekly updates really help the game flow. Another thing that stood out about Jailbreak was the fact that Asimo interacted with his community a lot, which helped him gather suggestions and things that people playing his game wanted to see happen. Asimo was always there tweeting and responding to tweets, interacting with the community, something that most developers back then didn't do very much. This kept the game going, and Jailbreak went on to win almost every Bloxy award, which was remarkable. No one had ever seen a game on Roblox like Jailbreak absolutely dominate like it did. Badimo even used his Jailbreak success to put himself into college. This was only possible because of how successful Jailbreak was. Another thing that kept the game fresh and popular was due credit to the influencers like KreekCraft, Myusernamesthis, VedDev, Ant, NapkinNate, and many more. Because Jailbreak was such a success, many big influencers featured it on their channels, which gave the game even more momentum. But of course, nothing lasts forever. With the rise of simulators and other games like Adopt Me coming into play, Jailbreak started to lose players. There were only now monthly updates since Bad CC started college and was pretty busy. But then, something happened. Say whatever you want to say about Mad City, but it absolutely pushed Asimo and Bad CC to work at their best. Now there was competition, and Jailbreak wasn't about to let it be an easy fight. Weekly Jailbreak updates started coming back fast and hard. Asimo and Bad CC were dropping new vehicles, new robberies, and items to compete with Mad City. This was, in my opinion, the golden age of Jailbreak, where Asimo and Bad CC were pushing out insanely good updates to compete with Mad City. Jailbreak would have died a lot quicker if it weren't for Mad City, so in a way, we should thank Mad City. With all of this happening, Jailbreak rose back to the top 3 games once again. Sadly, Adopt Me had taken the #1 spot, and interestingly so, it still holds it. After a while though, the updates stopped coming weekly, and they announced that they were going back to monthly updates. Since Bad CC was in college, he couldn't really push out amazing updates every single week. Updates during this time weren't exactly great either. Instead of the updates being fresh, new, and big, they were fairly small and didn't add too much to the game. All of this led to the Season 4 update, which was a huge flop and it received a lot of backlash from the Jailbreak community. This, in my opinion, was Jailbreak's worst update. All it did was add in new spoilers. That was it. Nothing else was added to the game. They of course tried their best by adding in a cargo plane later on, which was a success, but that didn't last forever either. As of now, the cargo plane robbery isn't used very much when grinding. They also tried adding in the Cybertruck, which was a really good cheap vehicle, and I remember using it when I was new to the game and wanted to grind. But nothing could beat the fact that Jailbreak wasn't like what it once was. It has changed, and in a lot of ways, for the worse. I don't think the developers are the only ones at fault here. The Jailbreak community has started to get really toxic, with cops spamming L's in the chat and the whole bacon versus salad stupidity. It all started to fall apart, and interestingly enough, KreekCraft left Jailbreak because of how toxic the community was getting, and he was fed up with it. Amazing content creators stopped posting because of how toxic it was. While Jailbreak was an amazing game and had amazing times, the truth is that the community has changed a lot, for the worse. Furthermore, coming up with new and fresh ideas for a game that has been around for years isn't an easy job, not to mention the time and effort that needs to be put into it. Making content off of a game that isn't getting updated with the best updates is also the reason why many of the big influencers left Jailbreak. Myusernamesthis has moved on to his own game, and KreekCraft has gone on to become a very notable Roblox YouTuber. The truth is, yes, there are updates, but ask yourself, are they as good as they once were? The answer is a pretty solid no. So without a big change in how the toxic community is, and without a really good update, I don't see Jailbreak making a comeback anytime soon. So if you play Jailbreak, or any game for that matter, don't be toxic. It's making everyone's experience worse. Until there is a drastic change in the updates, gameplay, and the community, all we can do is wait and see. Peace.